What's going on, guys? It's Kyle again with DTOM Knives and Gear, and today we have a very non-Kyle sized knife. This is the Quiet Carry IQ, a little titanium flipper made for EDC task, a very lightweight, very capable, but small EDC knife. This is going to appeal to so many different people. For me, it is absolutely a backup knife. I would carry this and did carry this in the course of the review in my secondary role. My secondary role. It is just like all quiet carry knives, very, very well put together. I mean, you can get this in a few different configurations, but this one in particular has the micro milling on there. Come on, camera. This is all stainless hardware, titanium pocket clip that sits deep carry. So a true EDC secondary knife for me, and small, lightweight EDC carry for a lot of folks. This knife is on loan from my buddy Brad over at Mild-Mannered EDC. Thank you so much, sir, for allowing me to check this thing out. He's just a great guy and a great channel. I will have him linked down below, so definitely go check him out if you haven't already, because you should. If you're subscribed to me, you're going to be subscribed to him. But if you're looking at this knife and you've come out of the space of YouTube, go check out Mild-Mannered EDC. The guy is freaking awesome, and his videos are great. He's hilarious. So, quiet carry fashion, you have your little 4 holes there. That is their signature mark. Relatively thin guy here. And the flipper is really, really dialed in as far as the action. I don't even know if I can fail it. It's really hard to fail if you get it to, which obviously is awesome because you're always going to just flick this thing out. And then, of course, the action on this little titanium frame lock, so very good. I mean, it is a light little blade, but it's Elmax steel, which I love Elmax steel. You know, it's got good edge retention, and the toughness is a little bit tougher than most. And I really like tough steels. Now, on a little knife like this, is the toughness going to be a big deal? Probably not. But then again, it might, because, you're going to be using this knife for your EDC everyday task, and that's going to include things like cardboard and opening packages, maybe a little bit of paracord, stuff like that. It is a very unique kind of modified sheep's foot blade that does have belly on it, but it also has a nice little tip to poke your way into packages. So the blade shape for me, I think, is very utilitarian for what this knife is designed to do, which is to be a very good EDC companion style knife for light to mid-duty tasks in your everyday carry. It is a neutral handle, very thin. The blade sits inside of the handle scale, so you can't see any blade. So very, very nice in the pocket. And of course, with this titanium pocket clip, disappears and works really well. I like the fact that it's a short pocket clip. Matter of fact, like this knife for me, a place that I could carry this, right there. It looks like a pin, right? And it's lightweight enough where I could seriously carry this as a secondary knife and keep it right there. I know people are like, what are you doing? I actually have done that. The CEO, the CRKT CEO, actually brought me into thinking, that's actually not a bad spot for a little backup knife. If it's lightweight, not going to pull my shirt down. This worked perfect for that. I think it's a great option for your secondary knife if you're carrying this to be right there. Call me crazy. But anyways, I like it. Now, it's not Kyle size. So you have a very neutral handle, and the flipper tab comes right there. So my finger needs to sit right below that. And in this grip, it's comfortable. However, my pinky's coming off. And it's like right there in between where this point is and, of course, where that is. So for me, I can grip the knife. It's comfortable for me to cut with, but it's not, great. I would rather this be just a tad bit longer and be maybe even a little bit thicker to fill my big hands. this knife is not made for me. It's made for somebody with smaller hands who wants a good small EDC tool. And I think it works great in that role. Just for me, you know, there's no jimping on the top. So that's kind of nice. You know, you don't really need jimping on this knife, I don't believe. You're not going to be doing any kind of real stabbing task with this thing to where you're worried about it slipping off. However, it does have a flipper tab and a little area that will stop you in the case of that at least a little bit. So yeah, ergonomically it's good. It's not great, but that is due to these things here. They're just big. So, you know, that is what it is for me. That's why sometimes smaller knives don't do it for me because of that. But if that is a problem, Quiet Carry also covers you there. You will see a review on this guy shortly. This is the Quiet Carry Drift, which we will do some size comparisons and whatnot, but they make knives like this that are excellent for guys with bigger hands because of this finger troll here, and it just melts in your hand kind of goodness. So, but this is a different tool for somebody else, right? I'm just letting you know that Quiet Carry makes tools for everybody, all hand sizes. Now, they're not big gargantuan knives, but they have models that work for bigger hands. This is one of those that don't really work for bigger hands, but it can be done. You know, it's just not great, you know, for my hand size. Let's see how it cuts. Now, this is a very light to mid-duty EDC, so we're going to only do 2 of the cut tests, which is cardboard and the paracord. I'm not really going to do the twisted sisal rope, because I don't really feel the need for that. But I just kind of want to show you for cardboard, that tip will puncture. Of course, it's all flimsy from me cutting all the hell out of it, but it punctures really nice, and then, of course, slices really nice. It does really, really good on your cardboard cutting task. As far as the paracord, no resistance, no effort at all. This thing is, you know, it's thin as far as the blade stock, and it's got a flat grind. So in essence, it should slice very well, and it does slice very well. It's got a very good plunge grind and finger troll. If you can get your finger in there, you are tiny. That is a very nice sharpening choil. I love the fact that they put that on the knife. It's freaking awesome for people that sharpen their knives. All in all, just a great little guy. So let's go ahead, turn the camera around, and give you a better look at the way the milling is on this, because it really, really does tickle my fancy, the way that they've got these contoured titanium scales with this milling that goes all over it. And get some size comparisons and some specs, like always. Alrighty, let's get a good look at this micro milling that I really do love so much. As you can see, it even comes back to the back portion of the handle scales. It's all rounded off. Can't see any blade. Very minimal flipper tab. So carry of this thing is absolutely amazing. If that's important to you, then this is definitely one to choose because it is well built and has premium materials. It just really does excellent. I mean, the finishing that they've done all the way around this thing is really, really nice. And then the milling just makes it even more beautiful. So small knife, I get it. It can fit in my circle. So what are we looking at? Overall length is 6.6 inches. That is pretty small, but that's why they've made it, because people like, or a lot of people like the very small, lightweight knives. So this is for them. You have a blade length of 2.9 inches, so it is under the 3-inch mark for the communist states. Hoorah. Jesus. It also has a body length of 3.7. The blade thickness is 90 thousandths. And with that grind, even with the blade as thin as it is, it gets to like 18 thousandths behind the edge. So they did a really good job, because most of the time when you have really thin blades, it doesn't have a lot of room to get down really thin. But with this one, 18 thousandths, oh yeah. And that's what makes this thing such a good slicer. It really does perform well. So with the LMAX steel, I think it's a great combination. What does it weigh? Because, yeah, you're like, Kyle, you're talking about it being such a great EDC knife. Well, let's see. So remember, you have the what did I say? 2.9 inches of blade, and it's 2.2 ounces. Kudos with the ratios. That's going to be amazing. That's why this knife does so well at a great EDC knife, because the weight versus what you're getting as far as the blade length, the style, everybody talks about gentleman's knife. This is a gentleman's knife, in my opinion. Something that you carry as wearing a suit, or something that you don't have a lot of, a heavy belt or anything. At least for me, that's what this would be. Something to just have a tool on me in case I really needed to cut something that was going to be very light duty. Yes. Oh, yes. So, size comparisons. We got some more smaller knives in my collection. You guys know I don't have a lot of small knives. Here it is against the Para 3. So, it's smaller than the Para 3. Let's go ahead and put the other quiet carry up because we have it out. Here is your drift, and there's the size difference between the drift. Now, as you can see, the drift is a little bit longer, but the difference between these two knives is the forward finger control and the ergonomics of the handle. I definitely much prefer this knife. You will see a full review on this knife coming soon. This is really, it's getting close to being one of my favorite smaller knives in the collection, which we're going to go over right here with other size comparisons. One of those being the Ferrum Forge Stinger. And the Stinger, definitely longer than the IQ. Another one, more on the budget end, guys, if you're looking for a budget knife in this kind of size range. There is your QSP Penguin in the denim micarta. And then the one that is my favorite smaller knife to carry is the F5.5, and obviously a much wider blade than the IQ. So the IQ is definitely going to carry better, even though these two right here are perfectly fine for me, and there are my EDC small knives that I like to carry, and this one is absolutely so much smaller than those. But if you're a guy who likes that mini bug out size, or even the bug out size, and you like the lightweight, but you want more of a premium knife, this is what you want. This one is about $182. So, yep, it is more expensive than your so-called bug out. But would I pick something like this over the bug out? Probably so. The only thing that this thing doesn't have that I like on something like the bug out is the ability to do the reverse flick, because the reverse flick for me is very, very fidgety. This one is flipper only, but the flipping action is very fun on this guy. I have to admit, it is very satisfying. It would just get boring to me having only one deployment method out of a knife. But guys, yeah, can I recommend it? I definitely can recommend this knife. It is so well built. Quiet Carry is just an excellent company. They've got so many models out now that, I think would fit a role in anybody's collection. They're very well made, use very good materials. This one's in Elmax, this one's in Vanex Super Clean, which is still a very exotic steel that not many makers are doing, and they actually offer Vanex in quite a few of their models. So if that's something you look at, definitely go check out quietcarry.com. Guys, definitely head over to Brad over at Mild Mannered EDC and tell him thank you from DTOM Knives and Gear channel. I mean, he is just amazing. He didn't have to allow me, he didn't have to send these or tell Kevin to send these to me to let me check out, because he hasn't had these knives in a while. So I'm sure he's wanting them back. So he's just an awesome dude. Thank you so much, Brad, for all that you do for this community. You're just so awesome. Guys, stay safe in this crazy world that we are living in, and we will see you in the next one.